to our Senate President, Senator Akpabio. We are giving him ultimatum of 2 days, that is 48 hours, to reverse the suspension of Senator Natasha and stop the harassment from northern senators. Or else, we'll occupy the street. It's our duty. The last protest, you will see what we did. It's in our vein for us to occupy the street. We'll occupy the whole street of northern Nigeria. We'll also occupy the National Assembly. We'll occupy the Senate. And demand for the resignation of Senator Akpabio. Furthermore, we will block Lokoja Lagos roads in a way that there will be no supply of food from the north to the south. And there will be no supply of other goods from south to the north. Please, our great president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are calling his attention for him to interfere and for him to stop people like Akpabio from all this busybody by spoiling his administration.
I am Dr. Jonathan Onoja. Responding to your questions, why Senator Natasha was suspended, as not because of the case of sexual harassment, but because of the misconduct in the House. I think we better to disagree. It's a case of a witch cries at night and the child dies in the morning. You recall that why Senator Natasha was asked to vacate her seat to the new seat, she raised Order 10 on privileges. And she mentioned that there was no prior notice to this request why other senators enjoying these privileges. That ordinarily she needs to be informed if a seat is changed. Not at the floor where she's making her positions. It is from that incident that led to the case of suspension today. But before then, the Honorable Senator has said, distinguished colleagues, she has a petition. If there was a case of suspension that has to do with misconduct, that ordinarily has to be treated before even submitting a petition. She submitted a petition, and there was a case of she cannot sign her petition. It is in the case of this front and back that a chagrin kind of suspension came. And we are all aware in this country that this is not the first case of sexual harassment made by the Senate President. The Senate President ordinarily should not be in the seat of Senate President. Why? We are all aware that this Senate President has questionable character before even the AFCC. We are all surprised to see him as Senate President. And this is not the first time we are having a case of sexual harassment. So if we are peddling a case of sexual harassment with gross misconduct of Senator Natasha, I think we also need to understand that something led to something before the case of suspension. Natasha was not suspended grossly for misconduct. We are all aware that it is because of the indictment of the Senate President that led to her suspension, not grossly because of the case of misconduct in the House of Senate. Please.
The Senate is supposed to be the highest place of morality. Recently, the National Assembly have passed a law where they have, put a severe sanction on any lecturer that harass a female student. And now today, the same Senate is entangled in sexual harassment by a colleague. Now, we are asking that, we are not saying that Senator Natasha is right or she's wrong, but what we are saying is that Akpabio must submit himself to probe, a transparent probe. There are so many judgments in the court of law that no senator has a right to suspend another senator. So therefore, suspending Senator Natasha for about 6 months is as equally as suspending her constituency. She was voted in there by her constituent, not her colleague in the Senate. And there is law. The court have pronounced several judgments that no senator have the right to suspend another. The maximum is 14 days, to the best of our knowledge. Now, what we are asking, what is our leaders, particularly in the Senate, what are they trying to teach the younger ones? If they cannot, if a person of a Senate president cannot submit himself to a probe, that means there is a lot that needs to be unveiled. Because this is not the first time the same Senate president is being accused of sexual harassment. I recall that when he was the minister of the Niger Delta, the managing director of NDDC equally accused him of sexual harassment. So which means this is not his first time. And he must submit himself to probe. Let Nigerians judge whether he is innocent or he is not. But his body language is telling us otherwise. And we have realized that the Senate has becoming very dictatorial. Dictatorial in the sense that no senator has the right to freely express his opinion in a democracy. We claim to be practicing democracy in Nigeria, and then if you express yourself, you express your mind, you will be victimized. Recently also, there are so many opinion and allegations coming up, particularly from Kogi State, that one of the reasons also that Senator Natasha was suspended was because she was able, as a chairman of Senate Committee on the local content, that she was able to bring investors to our constituency for an LNG program. And as we speak, the information available to us is that that program was suspended or was automatically removed from Kogi State, thereby depriving her constituency and people of Kogi State the opportunity to get jobs and so many other benefits. And we are saying enough is enough. If our leaders refuse to take their position of leadership, the youth will not sit down and watch, fold their hand and watch.
Most of these our senators are scared of expressing their mind. That was the reason why we, the youth from northern Nigeria that voted them, came out here to speak on behalf of the poor masses and said enough is enough. If you could remember, I think before the Senator Natasha and Akpabio Sega, it was Abdul Ningi versus Akpabio. Then later on, Senator Ali Ndumi versus Akpabio. Now it is Senator Natasha versus Akpabio. The question I want to ask here, why is it that it's always a northern senators? People who has voted in that position. Then in addition to what my friend said here, that why is it that we, the northern youth, said Akpabio is anti-north? My friend, please, you should make your research and give us a single development from the northern Nigerian ever since Akpabio resumed as Senate President. The northern Nigerian has no single support from Akpabio. And we are calling for Mr. President, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a father from the north, because he's our father from the north. We, the northern Nigerian, voted him. And we support him, and we will keep on supporting him as our president. It's our constitutional right to defend our president. So we are calling the attention of Mr. President for him to please call the attention of Senator Akpabio, the Senate President. Let me tell you what you don't know. Akpabio stopped the project of NLNG gas pipeline project that will link from Kogi State to Kaduna to Kanu, in fact, to other African countries, Morocco. At the moment of tax reform bill that you all know is coming up, do you know the contribution of the LNG gas pipeline in northern Nigeria? Do you know the achievement of it? But Senator Akpabio stopped that project. Not only stopping it, he cancelled the project. He stopped it entirely. That was the reason why we had to said enough is enough with the action of Senator Akpabio. We will not take it any longer.